Welcome back to Crash Command Games. This is Unpacking the Week. Different Unpacking the Week this time. I don't have a box this time. This is as viewers of this channel might know, all tens of you, for now. During Magic pre-releases, a lot of my stores kind of shut down to all other games. One Piece, Digimon, all that stuff. Flesh and Blood included suffers from this. So we don't get an armory this week, but we have some Pro Tour coverage we can talk about. And I've got mail day coming in from my Dusk Till Dawn packages. We can talk about that. So Pro Tour keynotes are the most interesting thing I think we're going to see for a hot minute as far as product development goes. I'm annoyed at a few things. We can go over a few things. Obviously, we all know 5th anniversary of Fab is coming up. Osaka. I'm annoyed that you can only get the 5th anniversary packs for those of us who have been celebrating this game the whole time. Making content, playing the game. All that kind of stuff. It's insane to think that we don't get any kind of props, right? For just showing up day in and day out. I know it's kind of a weird complaint. But I was hoping like a product would come out. Like I was hoping a product would come out for the 5th anniversary. Like all game stores participating would get some kind of a booster pack or something. We give it out for a tournament, or maybe everybody who shows up one day gets one. Like that kind of a thing. Feels a lot like. Feels not as much of a celebration as it should be. And that's kind of weird. That's okay though. You know, they're going to do weird stuff. They're going to promote new regions, and that's fine, I guess. Just kind of sucks. Been here the whole time, and we don't get the 5th anniversary pack because I'm not going to Japan. Obviously, if you're seeing this, you know I am not in Amsterdam. A lot of drama at work. Got into a big fight with one of my managers. Was pretty sure I was going to get fired, actually. But it seems like things have resolved and he realized what he did was insane. Still might get fired. You never know. That's not the point. The point being, long story short, someone said they'd cover a few shifts for me, being my manager. And then when it came to make the schedule, he forgot the conversations that happened. Lesson to anyone out there, get everything in writing. No matter how long your relationship has been with that supervisor, no longer a good relationship with him right now. But, you know, just get everything in writing, no matter how good you think you and this person have it, no matter how long you guys have been working together. Just get it in writing. And then just go. And say, hey, there it all is, plain English for you all to see. Or whatever language you speak, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm trying to get at there. Interesting to see how people ship their cards differently each time. But I am excited that when I got home, the Pro Tour had just started. So I was able to watch the feature matches. I got to see a lot of heroes that I really like. Really disappointing to see our world champion get so thoroughly high rolled by an Azalea. I was hoping for more of a back and forth on that game, but there just couldn't be. But ooh, this paper is really weirdly cheap. I like it. Super easy to rip. But then again, there's all that tape that I hate. They're hyper fixating on Zen, right? There's more to a meta than just Zen. You look at any Pro Tour, any big event, anything like that, and it's almost never the tier 0 that wins. It's never that S tier fighter that wins these tournaments. It's always the tier 1s, the ones targeted at that fighter and can still gatekeep the lower tiers as well. But I think Prism and Azalea are going to be, ooh, little cracked bobble sticker. Isn't that nice? That was a magic trick. And it's just crazy to think that you would just hyperfit. Yeah, there's always a best deck. There's always a best deck. This time it's Zen. But you just go back to any meta in history for any of us who have been here the whole time. This is nowhere near the worst meta. Okay. realistically, the Tales of Aria takeover was pretty. Like, I know some people go, "Oh man, it's not as bad as the Showstopper." You weren't around when the only heroes you could play were Aria. Okay, and I count him. Oh, I can't show this thing because it's a free advertisement for a competitor, but you know, that's how that one was packed. We're just gonna remove that for now. I'm getting over my sickness. I think the sickness wave is moving on through my city. I think I got the tail end of it, the harshest end of it, which is fine. There's more than this in here, but this is just how I think you should pack cards. Let's actually find out what's in here, because I ordered a few cards for my friend. This might just be the prognosi. So I'm going to say it, deal with it. Yeah. Sorry, these are Bonds of Agony. What the hell? I'm keeping the shipping material. You know that. So, Pro Tour. Yeah, I saw some pros talking shit about the meta, how this is the worst meta ever, and it's dominated by one hero. Yeah. There's going to be a best deck. Play around it. Learn how to play around it. Figure out how you can do something better than that. Deck build. Solve problems, right? Do your thing. Just popping up with a deck and saying, I want to play this deck is not always going to work. And I understand that more than anybody having the frustrations. It's another friend's purchase. And I understand that more. And there's that tape across the top that I hate. And I understand that more than anybody because of my little challenge to myself where I said, I'm going to play decks that I don't choose. I'm going to play decks that I win. And that'll expose me to more of the format and more of the struggles and hardship of deck building. Right? God, I hate tape at the top, man. I hate this. See, and then the card was stuck to the top of the tape. It's just dumb. And I find it to be irritating that people are so willing to just throw a whole Pro Tour under the bus. So many people's vacations, so many people like me who didn't get to go. We just get to sit here and watch these people complain about this event that we all wanted to go to. Awesome. Super cool, guys. Thanks. Sorry, it isn't your dream meta of my hero's the best. All that negativity aside, the Pro Tour has kicked off. It is very cool. Wait, why do I have an extra sleeve? They just packed an extra sleeve in there? That's cool. I was watching some of those games because this one fell out of its sleeve. All right, that's fine. And I caught a game with Zen and Azalea, and that was Alexandros and that was not Joachim. That was oh man, I'm sorry. You're never gonna see this video, but I'm sorry I forgot your name. It was just kind of like me watching the game for the game. Either way, the Azalea player never took any chances. Very, very methodical, very careful play. Had a 9 to 25 life lead, I believe, at one point in time, and still not taking chances, taking very slow, not slow turns, but a lot of time to think. A lot of time to think about every play, every opt, everything. Very smart plays that forced the Zen player to block with Traverse without getting the value of Traverse. And I think that was huge. I'm going to do my next podcast episode is going to be about Fab 3.0. I believe we're here. Okay. Because these heroes are starting to show, specifically, the Mistral heroes are showing a new game design that I'm not entirely sure I like. We're heading into variants. Okay. Having built my whole game plan and all of my love on this game on the deterministic function of this game, right? That's what I like. I like that sometimes we can sit down and we just know what's going to kind of happen. And then that little bit of variance will determine whether or not that's actually what happens. That was fine with me. Now, I know some people may be bored of that, so they kind of need to spice things up. And I understand that to an extent, but are we really going to change the whole core gameplay to more variance and more random spike moments? And by spike, I don't mean like the card game term. I mean like I caught my 2 transcends turn 1. Here we go, right? I like being able to go through my deck, see as many cards as possible, make a lot of good decisions, and then win. I kind of see where some of the pros are getting at with their conversation. But at the same time, what you can do in this scenario is start exploring deck building. That is going to be the solution for all of us here in a minute. We're going to need to explore ourselves, our creativity, and our problem-solving capabilities. I don't think disruption in the traditional sense will be what solves Zen. What I think solves Zen is kind of what we saw. This was this package. I think what solves this problem is doing something better than Zen, or doing something so mechanically unique that it kind of stops Zen. But we can't just like lean on the old faithful pummels, because just discarding a card isn't enough. Okay, things like Deadeye are different. Things that pull cards out of their hand. The Pulse Wave Harpoon. I had noted in my previous episode that I think Mechanologist. Jesus, I can't really show a lot of this package, but just note exactly how much tape. It's the whole thing, top to bottom is tape. Actually need to knife this thing open. Why did that need that much effort? That didn't need to be that hard. Okay. So just get a team bag. Way less effort, way less time. Jesus, and they taped it on the inside.
Trash.
They taped it to the inside 3 different ways. I have to literally cut this thing open every which way. Okay. I'm gonna have to blur that out and figure out how to blur that out. It's a new editing thing I needed to learn anyway. So, Jesus. Like I get that it is this card. Right? I get that it is this card. But then there's even more tape, man. Okay. But yeah, deck building is going to be the answer. That is going to be the way we need to work ourselves. And if you're not willing to dedicate the time to create, then you need to wait. You need to wait until the other people find the answer. And then you can hone that deck back to what you want it to be. It won't be the original deck builder's vision, and it might not do the same things, but, you know, I know people like to meddle with things, and then, you know, agile iteration helps quite a bit in this game. But more of that to say, just like, this Azalea player had it nailed. Knew when to look for the red in the ledgers, knew when to instead just push enough damage to scare the Zen into blocking with Transcend for no value. Very creative play. I see battering bolts are a terror nowadays. They're just a lot of damage, force you to do things that you don't want to when you don't want to. Very, very good card. I am a fan of what I am seeing. All right. After that, we kind of looked at I think it was it was Max Nitro versus a Victor. This one broke my heart. Anybody who listens to the podcast knows that during one of my pro quests, I went into a Victor in the first round of top 8, and I got an IP2 for not listing the Nitro Mechanoids on my deck list like a fucking idiot. But it happened. And I almost left. I was like, shit, that's it. That's game. There's no way I can recover from this. Until they told me it was a Victor. That is, again, as I said in the last episode that I talked about this, I'm not dunking on the player. Victor is almost a free win with Max Nitro. The only way to not win is to not value your life total. Okay, that means he was greedily blocking, or greedily not blocking, so he could deliver attacks. And I was watching; he was trying to deliver these pulse wave harpoons. He was trying to deliver these. Those are cool. You know what's cooler? Making it to the mechanoid. So he finally makes it to the mechanoid a little bit late, and still starts trying to preserve his hand to try to present more damage back. In certain scenarios, you just block out until you can arsenal the high octane or something, and then you just block out until you need enough life to just say, I'll eat your turn. The whole thing, I'll take it. And then you fire off the turn. It was a lack of patience that I saw, and it is either indicative of a new Max Nitro player or one that hasn't practiced Victor very much. And that's fine. I sound very judgy, but that's just because I love Max Nitro and it's very, very near and dear to me. Was that? Oh, that was everything. It's going to be a lot shorter unpacking the week. We're just going to talk about the other things we saw. Okay? We're just going to talk about the other things we saw. So in the keynotes, we saw the mastery packs. I think this is a super cool idea, right? I'm not going to try to make this a super fancy. Kind of want to get comfortable for this part, huh? Lean back a bit. All right, so yeah, the mastery packs I think are an insanely good idea. It's just, hey, is your class not getting all the support that you want? Are you not able to express the way you want to build your deck? Mastery packs. Mastery packs seem to be a very, very, very good idea to me on paper. And they sound like, obviously, what they are. They're jump starts for Magic players, if you don't know what that is. It's a pack you can just open, shuffle up, and play. Gives you an idea of the class. I think that's fucking sick to be able to just say, I want to check out this class and see how it plays out. And hopefully they design them in a way that you do get the idea of what they are. So I don't know how you're going to do a mastery pack. There's no way it can be. Flesh and Blood is not the same game as Magic. It can't be. I don't know. I would say maybe is it like a little 40 card pack, like a little cardboard situation? Is that what's going on? I have no real good speculation on this specific product right now. I just think it's a super good idea to get people to be able to jump into the game, fire off 1 or 2 rounds, get some cool cards, and then supplement. They said not all the cards are new, so supplement your Guardian collection. I don't know. Everybody does this, but over here, you can kind of see my binders over here, the little black things over here. Those are all class binders. That's awesome for people who do their system like I do. And maybe it'll inspire other people to create their own system of collection and deck building. So I believe mastery packs are a great future. We have 3 sets a year still is what it's looking like for next year. That's fantastic to see. I'm glad. I don't want to go over every topic because I need to save some content for the podcast, but we'll just touch them. Sets 15, 16, and 17, I believe we're on, or are we on 14, 15, 16? Those are all coming out next year. Still going strong. Year 5 of Fab. Like I said, I'm annoyed about the Osaka thing, about how we don't all get 5th anniversary packs. What else did Mr. Brian Gottlieb talk about? The First Strike packs, I'm not super interested in them. I will buy them as a collector piece. I know they're meant for new players, but I like to just try them, like with the around the table and all that. I like to crack one open, play it a few times, have some fun, and then buy another one and keep it sealed for fun. Beyond that, we don't know a whole lot. We just know Rosetta spoilers are starting to come out. We see dual modal cards instead of dual faced cards. That's what I think should have happened to begin with for most of the cards. Maybe like the flip cards from. I'm going to bring this back to Magic a lot. Even though that game is not really my favorite anymore, a lot of my experience comes from that section of the world. In Kamigawa, they had the flip cards where you read it right way up, and then if you hit an effect, you would turn the card upside down, and it would have the other effect and the other card on the bottom of it. I believe that's how we should have gone. I don't like the hybrid cards as much. Mostly because they can be a little bit confusing. There's a border divide in between them. There's some question as whether or not, if I'm a lightning hero, can I use the lightning card still, or do I have to be a lightning wizard, for example? Because the left half of the card is a wizard action, the right hand of the card is a lightning instant. I'm sure they're going to clarify all that. It's just messy. And we keep running into these kind of messy scenarios, which is fine. We're all about this design space. You know, we need to explore every bit of the game that we can. Past that, Keynote mentioned a lot of new callings, battle hardens, all that kind of stuff. It's all very cool that they're expanding their area. The next one I'm going to be attending is probably Portland. I wish we could get one for Seattle again, but we just had one for Seattle. Now that I think about it, I just wasn't able to go. Man, every single big event around me, I've just not been able to hit. I'm kind of annoyed, wondering about some things. So after that, I've been jumping all over the place. That's what the Unpacking the Weeks are. Just talking, stream of thought, checking what I got, either in booster packs or I guess in mail form now, for the days that I decide to finish my collections on certain sets. But as far as the tournament went, that Max Nitro player, I hated watching because that should just be an auto win. I did not get to see any other matchups because I started watching other content at the time, which is fine. I don't think I was going to learn a whole lot more. I wanted to watch the draft portion. I might get to that later tonight. But yeah. Make sure to like, subscribe, any of these videos that you see. If you like any of this content, if you just like the little bullshit talks, just getting a casual take on the meta, seeing what you can possibly buy, seeing what's out there, seeing some cool cards, getting exposed to other things through either me opening packs or opening mail, whatever. Check us out on eBay. I might be pulling out a TCG player pretty soon. Not completely, but it's just irritating situations have arrived with TCG player recently. I know eBay owns TCG player, but it's a completely different style of selling, and it has been picking up a little bit more and more. So I'm going to start listing more and more on eBay. Go ahead and check us out there. Check us out on Patreon. Make sure to check out any of the cast of commotions if you're a newer player. They're more geared towards newer players. Yeah, thanks again. This one's zeroed.